Hey friends and family, this is Patrick Higgins from CityLight Church here in Bratislava. I wanted to give you a very brief update on the crisis in Ukraine and how we as a church at CityLight are responding to that. As you know, there's a lot of moving parts in this situation, and there's a lot of wonderful people, wonderful churches, and wonderful organizations, and we have a wonderful city and government who are just really pouring resources, pouring love, pouring time and energy into this situation. With us at CityLight, we're just kind of figuring out what we can do and looking at our capacity. And right now we're focusing on two main things. One is getting people settled here in Bratislava. Partly that is taking people in for a short-term basis and then helping them in their next steps. Because as you can imagine, most of these people were not expecting to leave, right? They are, and there's just kind of rushing and packing, getting the little few things that they can take with them in their hands and moving forward this way. As you know, it's mostly women, children, and older people. And really what we're seeing with a lot of our Ukrainian neighbors as they're coming in here as refugees is that they just need a moment of peace. And that was one thing that God put on my heart at the very beginning of all this is share your peace, share your peace. And we've seen that even in our own home as we've had different folks, different families come in. Just make a peaceful environment, share your peace, pray over people, give them space just to get set and move forward, and then help them to move forward. And we're doing that in two basic ways. We are either connecting people with resources in Western Europe. We've got friends in Germany and Austria and Denmark and Norway and UK, all over the place, wonderful church families who are wanting to open their homes and just take care of these refugees. And so that's one option. The other option, and this is really where our heart is for those who want to stay here in Slovakia. A lot of the refugees that we are meeting want to stay here, specifically here in Bratislava, and so really just kind of helping them to resettle. And there's a lot of things involved in that. Partly it's finding them a place to stay, and really our city is packed right now, but by God's grace He's opening up hearts, He's opening up homes, He's opening up spaces. We've also have a generous government right now who is giving funds for those who are willing to rent at no cost to refugees. So these things are coming along. They're coming along slow. This is Slovakia, but it is happening, okay? So finding places for them to stay, getting them registered as refugees officially with the police, looking for employment, putting kids in school, setting up bank accounts, all these very practical things for starting a life here in Bratislava. And so really just helping people integrate here and really just adopting families, bringing groceries, connecting them with the local organizations that can best bring them the help. All those kind of practical things. And then just being friends, being people who they know that, hey, there's a safe community. These people from CityLight, they love us, they're welcoming us. And that's really our heart, just to be this wonderful welcome mat for people who are coming here to Slovakia, refugees who need a home, need a place where they can experience the peace of Jesus, and hopefully they'll experience it through our church and the many other churches who are doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so that's one main thing that we're focusing on. The other thing is material help, whether that be materially helping those who are coming to settle here or sending materials further on. We have this wonderful network with the Calvary Chapels and the Baptist churches here in Slovakia, also starting to engage with the Assemblies of God and others, also having some cooperation with the city of Bratislava, and how to move resources, whether they be food or medical, further on, deeper in, whether that be to the east, to Košice, where a lot of the refugees are having their first contact, or into Ukraine itself. And within the two networks that I mentioned before, Calvary and the Baptist Union, we do have warehouses accessible. There's trucks, there's a pipeline of supplies going through. So just want to encourage you, those of you who are watching this from afar and you've been giving financially, thank you, that helps, because these things cost money, and none of us were expecting these kind of needs. None of us have a budget for these kind of needs, but by God's grace, He's moving hearts, moving your heart, moving many other hearts to give. And so we just thank you that you're giving. If you want to contribute to exactly what we're doing at CityLight, there's a way. You'll just look down in the comments section and you can find all the details. We do encourage you to do that. And even more so, I encourage you to pray. Be a praying people. To be honest, we could have all the warehouses, trucks, money, whatever, and without God's help, this isn't going to happen, okay? This isn't going to get fixed. It is not something that is just about human effort. It's about the Spirit of God doing the amazing and moving hearts and bringing healing to those who are traumatized and really just doing miracles. And He is doing miracles. I mean, every time we place a new person in a new home, that is a miracle, okay? And it's just all these multiple little miracles happening all around us, and you're a part of it. As you're praying, you're a part of it. You're moving in there. And I just want to end this update with a really simple word of encouragement. I don't know about if you know this, but Jesus speaks about you. If you've gotten involved, He speaks about you. There's a day, and it may come soon, where we all get before the Lord, and He's going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Well done, good and faithful servant." And He's going to say, "Thank you for feeding me. Thank you for clothing me. Thank you for giving me that cup of water. Thank you for paying for my rent. Thank you for taking me from the border to your home. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for bringing me to church," right? And we're going to be like, "What are you talking about, Jesus? I don't know. I never did that." And He's going to turn to you and He's going to say, "You know what? When you did it for the least of these, you did it for me. When you did it for the least of these, you did it for me." Jesus is speaking about you and me and anyone who is being involved in things like this, okay? And so if you want to have that kind of conversation with Jesus where He says, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and "Hey, guess what? Thank you for doing these things," get involved. Get involved. If you're here locally, we would encourage you to open up your homes, spread the word to your contacts, find homes, find spaces. We need spaces. If you're here locally, collect. We have a list of material things that we're collecting. Collect those things. If you're here locally, be that friend. Be that welcoming person who can share your peace. If you're from afar, okay, and you're watching, be a praying person. Be a praying person, and send resources. That's what we need the most right now, okay? So be blessed, be a blessing. Thank you so much for being a part of this great work. God's doing good things, and we thank you for it. Take care.